A musical. It's not really. Actually, there's one song that I have to teach you folks, because we're going to be videotaping, and I need you to sing it nice and loud when we do that, okay? Also, in this show, it's okay to cheer and to boo. So let's hear a nice cheer. Let's hear a nice boo. Especially that Cribs. He's a mean fellow. When you see Cribs, you give him a nice boo. Okay? All right, so anyway, the song, it goes to, well, he's a jolly good fellow, but it's, we'll throw the rascals out. We'll throw the rascals out, sir. We'll throw the rascals out, sir. We'll let the honest tenants in and throw the rascals out. You got it? Let's hear it. We'll throw the rascals out, sir. We'll throw the rascals out, sir. We'll let the honest tenants in and throw the rascals out. That's good. I'm going to leave in another second, so instead of a nice cheer, I want to hear a boo, okay? Are we ready to start the show? Okay. Okay, hit the lights. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mary, and welcome to our humble abode. My dear mama will be home directly from the village, where she has been shopping. I shall make her a refreshing cup of tea. Mid pleasures and palaces, wherever we roam, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home.
Oh, Rito, what are you doing here?
Place like home.
Oh, this is my cottage.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Mary, please, refrain from singing, dear.
Oh, why, certainly, Mama. What is the matter? You look upset.
I am upset, Mary.
Is it one of your headaches, Mama?
No, not a headache. It were only one of my headaches, dear.
Could it be one of your sciatic twinges?
Worse. Far worse than my sciatic. Ugh. Twinges, dear.
Well, it is not your old complaint about a gout.
No, I can honestly say that at the moment. I am in good health, thank heavens. And touch wood.
Then why, Mama, do you ask me to refrain from singing?
Because, dear, all displays of mirth and merriment are out of place at a time like this.
At a time like what?
Oh, dear me. Oh, dear, I feel one of my headaches coming on. Is the tea ready?
Oh, yes, Mama.
Oh. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Now, dear, prepare yourself for a shock.
Mama, I am always prepared for shocks.
I've been informed in the village that old Mr. Middleton has passed away.
But how can Mr. Middleton's death affect you and me?
You know, dear, that we are not the proprietors of this cottage, that old Mr. Middleton was our landlord.
But he has been a kind and generous landlord to us. Why, it was only last year that he provided us with a new door knocker.
Oh, you little know, my poor child, how kind and generous he had been.
What do you mean?
I had not told you this before, but since your poor father's death, we have fallen far, far behind in our rents.
And dear good Mr. Middleton never pressed us for it.
No, he did not bless him. But the new landlord may not be so accommodating.
Well, who is our new landlord?
Young Edward Middleton, I presume. But we shall soon know for sure. The will is in the hands of Lawyer Cribs.
Oh, dear. Lawyer Cribs is a bad man.
Oh, Mary, what on earth do you mean?
Well, I've heard it said concerning his late wife that he drove her to drink.
Drove his late wife to drink? So that's how she died, eh? Wherever did you hear such a vicious piece of gossip?
In Sunday school.
Oh, you cannot believe all you hear in Sunday school. Lawyer Cribs is well known as a man of stainless character. And how can you be chattering on about such trifles at a time like this?
Well, what do you mean, Mama?
dear. We must bow with resignation to the great power that loveth while chasing it. Hurry, dear. Coming. Coming. Hurry, dear. Hurry up.
Good day, Mrs. Wilson.
Good day, Lawyer Chris.
Ma'am, a sad calamity has befallen the neighborhood.
May poor person I fear will have reason to think so.
She certainly will. He was a good man, that Mr. Middleton, Sr. He was my good friend, and he believed in taking my legal advice.
Was he not very rich, Mr. Cripps?
Oh, tolerably so, man. He had his ups and his downs. And speaking of ups and downs, I have come to inquire if you have any prospect of settling up. Ah, good day, my dear Miss Mary.
Good day, Mr. Chris.
Bonsoir, dame.
Oh.
Marie.
I suppose French?
Yes.
Oh, si.
No. Oui, oui.
Oui, sir.
So, by no means have I come to collect the arrears of your rent. I am only making a preliminary inspection of the estate in my dual capacity as friend of the late Mr. Middleton, Sr., and the executor of the Middleton will.
Oh, the will, yes. It was rumored in the village that everything was left to young Edward Middleton.
On that point, ma'am, rumor was correct. But the will contains further stipulation that should the young man die without having a child, then the entire estate would be left to me.
To you?
You seem surprised, ma'am. Yes, Mr. Middleton had only the one child. And as I said, I was his closest friend.
Mr. Cripps, such a will could surely offer a sore temptation to a character less upright and noble than yours.
Cursed, can she be so sincere? Does she not realize what I'm at? I hope so. I don't quite follow your meaning, ma'am.
Well, to inherit such a large inheritance, one might be, tempted to do away with the person who stood in one's way.
Madam, such a thought would never, ever have entered my head. Surely you are jesting?
Yes, of course, I was just jesting.
Of course. My only care is to gather together the somewhat tangled threads of the Middleton estate.
You do mean then, sir, that we must pay up our arrears
Oh,
immediately?
no, by no means.
Thank heavens. Thank heavens.
Not immediately, that is.
Then, you...
I mean that I shall allow you time, my dear lady. Ample time.
Bless you, Mr. Cripps, bless you.
Yes, ma'am, I shall allow you 24 hours.
24 hours?
I see nothing wrong with that. I thought you'd be pleased. 24 hours for payment of all arrears.
But where can I find the money?
There is urgent need for ready cash, ladies, for payment of death duties, funeral bills, various legal disbursements and expenses, and also to supply the wants of the young man.
But what can the young man want at a time like this? A time of mourning.
That is not for me to question, ma'am. Mr. Middleton is fond of the world and somewhat given to excess. Ah, yes, pardon, Miss Mary, I would not call a blush on the cheek of modesty. But you know, and you know, Mrs. Wilson, the folly of youth.
I recollect him as a lad, a bright-eyed, happy, a smiling boy, tall for his age.
Well, he is but 23 now, ma'am, and still giddy, wild, and reckless. As I said, he must have ready cash, so you, dear madam, must somehow find the money or vacate the premises.
Oh, Mr. Cripps, please find some way to spare us. Lighten this demand.
Gladly would I do that, ma'am. Were it within my power, but in this matter, I am merely a tool of the law. I have a duty to the estate to collect every last cent, no matter how it may hurt my own feelings. Failing such collection, I have to obtain possession of the cottage.
But how can we leave our cottage? It was here that poor Mr. Wilson breathed his last. Mary, you remember? It was in this chair he sat the very day before he died. And how he loved this calm retreat. What can we do, Mr. Cripps? Where can we go?
Now's my chance to spring the trap. Though this door may be closed against you, ma'am, there is another that might, that could open.
What do you mean, sir? Do not torment my mother with riddles at a time like this.
Oh, I intended to soothe rather than torment.
I'm sure you did, sir. You must excuse Mary. She is somewhat overwrought today.
I understand, I sympathize, but I will come to the point. What I intended to suggest was that you might find refuge, ma'am, in the home of a son-in-law.
But, I have no son-in-law.
That defect could easily be remedied.
You mean you and Mary?
You must be mad.
I have perhaps surprised you, Mary, my dear, by the suddenness of my declaration. My only excuse must be the overpowering strength of my emotions.
Mr. Cripps, we cannot sufficiently thank you enough for your kind offer, but...
No thanks are needed yet, ma'am. Mary will have ample time to consider the offer. As I said before, 24 hours.
24 hours?
Exactly. And I flatter myself that I already can guess your answer. It's a bad time of the year for sciatica and gout, Mrs. Wilson. Especially when one has to sleep under hedges and in haystacks. Well, I was only jesting, ladies. Now I must be on my way.
Goodbye. Good day then, Mr. Cripps.
Oh, good day to you, ma'am. Au revoir, my dear Miss Mary, my dear chère Marie. Au revoir. 24 hours.
Comfort, my daughter, comfort. It is a good thing to have a friend in the hour of need. Mr. Cripps appears to be a feeling man.
Far too feeling.
There is something restful about marriage to an older man.
Cripps is not an older man. He's more than older. He is old.
Perhaps so, yet a young man, any young man, no, every young man might be wild, giddy, reckless. A young man is certain to be given somewhat to excess.
But Papa was young when you married him.
Oh, Mary, your papa was the exception that proves the rule. Remember, dear, better to be an old man's darling than a young man's slave.
Mama, surely you cannot mean, you cannot suggest that I should accept the hand of that horrid old man.
The decision must be yours and yours alone, dear. Oh, dear, I fear, what if my headache is coming on, dear?
Rest, Mama, rest.
Yes, I shall rest, dear. Spilled some tea here before, dear. Okay, dear, I shall rest. But there will be little rest for me by this time tomorrow. Hoping road for my couch, and a stone for my pillow.
Mama.
Oh, my sciatic nerve, dear.
Mama, before we discuss the subject any further, I have an alternative suggestion.
No, I can see only two alternatives. Mr. Cripps sulfur. Or the open road, the beggar's trust. Oh, my guilt. Oh, God, my dough. Dear, dear, dear.
Listen, Mama, I have plenty of money.
You have money?
Yes, I saved it from the sale of my needle and crochet work. I plan to use it eventually for the purchase of my trousseau. I will use it instead to pay the rent. Then we can stay here, happy and contented as of old.
No. I cannot buy ease and comfort at the sacrifice of my daughter's trousseau. No way. How much have you got?
$14, Mama.
Oh, my poor child. You know so little of worldly affairs. $14 would not pay 1/10 of our debt. Give it to me.
Wait, Mama. I have a plan. I shall take the money direct to Mr. Edward Middleton and offer it in part payment. When the young man finds that we are disposed to deal fairly with him, he may relent.
I fear this young man. He has been described as so wild, so reckless. I'm sorry, dear, but I feel a sad foreboding.
I feel a deeper foreboding at the alternative. Mama, I am determined to go. Edward Middleton must, from family and association, at least have the manners of a gentleman.
That is true, dear, but I fear those gentlemanly manners.
And however wild a youth may be, when abroad among his associates, no gentleman ever insulted a friendless and unprotected woman.
There are worse dangers to be feared, my dear, than insult.
What do you mean?
I mean that this young man may try to lure you into, oh God, into excess.
I shall be constantly on my guard against that.
Good girl. Go then. Call him to the door. Refuse to enter. Tell him your sad story. And give him the money.
You give me courage, dear Mama, yet I'm agitated. Well, why do I tremble so?
Go forth, my child. Go as the dove flew from the ark of old. And if you should fail in finding the olive branch of peace, return, my dear, and seek comfort here on the bosom of your fond and widowed mother. Thank you.
Yes, sir, that's the most interesting hypothetical case. The party of the first part is due to receive a splendid inheritance upon the death of the party of the second part.
Good, Stickler. I'll make a lawyer of you yet. Now, in these circumstances, how would you advise the party of the first part to act?
Let's see. The party of the first part should act so as to remove the obstacle, huh? The party of the second part.
Splendid. That is wonderful, Stickler. Now, you have a mind like a steel trap. You've just shown it to me. I shall take you into full partnership someday. Now, how would you achieve the removal of the obstacle?
Cut his throat?
No. How often must I warn you against direct methods? My dear Stickler, you must learn to be devious. Always devious. Semper deviosus.
Oh, you mean...
as Homer puts it.
You mean hire someone else to cut his throat?
No. More devious than that.
Well, tell me then.
I will tell you. I shall work out. The party of the first part will work on the weakness of the party of the second part, so as to make him destroy himself.
But what if he has no weakness?
There is one weakness common to every young man.
Oh, what's that?
The weakness for alcoholic stimulants. Once young Edward Middleton, the party of the first, has taken the fatal first glass, his ruin is assured.
But do we know he has taken the fatal first glass?
He must have. He's been away to college for 3 years. So I lead him on to the second glass, the third, and one on and ever on down the road to debauchery, degradation, and death. Then the rich Middleton estates will belong to the aforesaid party of the first part.
Well, what will the aforesaid party do with the rich Middleton estates?
He will retire to a life of elegant ease and of connubial bliss.
Retire?
At the side of a certain fair young party.
What about the practice?
I shall make over the practice to you, my dear Stickler. The active work, that is. I shall remain as a sleeping partner with a 50% interest.
I can see it now. Cribs and Stickler.
No, my dear fellow. It shall be Stickler and Cribs.
Stickler and Cribs. Oh, Mr. Cribs, how can I express my gratitude?
Save your gratitude, my dear boy, until the business is completed. In the meantime, study, work, and be zealous to serve me.
Oh, yes, sir, I will.
Listen, I am momentarily expecting young Edward Middleton. Give me a few moments alone with him and then bring the liquor. For the present, you may get back to your briefs.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I shall never forget your kindness, sir. You, indeed, are a very good employer, sir.
Yes, that's true. That little interview at the cottage, I flatter myself that it was well acted, sympathy, charity. Soon now I shall enjoy the ripe yet tender charms of that young girl. I think I hear him. He's coming. Soon he will be writhing helpless in my toils, and ere long lying in a drunkard's grave.
Mr. Edward Middleton, sir.
Good day, son of my old friend.
Mr. Cripps, a friend of my father's is certainly a friend of mine.
Well said, nobly said. I see your father before me as I look on you.
I presume it is upon business that you wish to see me today.
Yes, indeed, sir. I have made this morning a quick inspection of the estate.
Mr. Cripps, you can be sure that I appreciate your zeal.
And I found, I regret to say, a shocking state of affairs.
Indeed.
Certain tenants have gravely abused the well-known soft heart of your poor late father.
In what way?
Take one example. Old Mrs. Wilson has fallen far arrears with her rent.
Well, perhaps she is poor and cannot pay.
There won't be poverty on rent day. But they have plenty of time and plenty of money for fine clothes, trinkets, canary birds, china ornaments, and such like luxuries. Even baker's bread.
That is serious.
Yes, sir, that's bilkers, deliberate bilkers. And there is worse to come.
Worse? Cripps, tell me everything. Tell me the worst. Don't spare me a single detail.
Before I tell you, sir, fortify yourself with a glass of old Jamaica rum. I believe you know Mr. Stickler, my clerk, my assistant, and someday perhaps my successor.
No, I'm sorry, but I do not partake of alcoholic beverages.
You mean that you have never indulged, sir?
I have. Once. I was at college and...
The fish is hooked. Now I shall lick you.
Oh, how I suffered from my folly the next morning.
A most instructive experience. You learned at times the evils of overindulgence, but now, as a grown man, you may enjoy the pleasures of moderation. This fine old rum was given to me by your late father. Many a glass we shared together to smooth the tedious course of our business conferences. Come, sir, by your refusal, you cast a slight on the memory of that good old man. Surely what was fit for the father is fit for the son.
I suppose when you put it like that.
That's the way to your late father, sir. Heaven rest his soul. Now, sir, another glass to fortify you against the bad news I'm getting.
Chris, tell me everything. I'm ready to hear now.
Yes, sir, nothing like a little rum you got. But now, I have to say, this Wilson woman does not pay her rent. In addition to that, she neglects the property. The garden gate is off the hinges. The limbs of the old birch tree are broken for firewood, and the fences are tottering.
No! How dare they? I will take immediate steps.
Quite right, sir. Let us drink to the downfall of
As I said, I shall take steps here and now. Steps, what steps should I take?
Replace the pilkers, Mr. Edward, with good, hard-working, honest tenant who will pay what's due.
Brilliant idea, Mr. Cripps. I must say, your zeal for my father's estate is most zealous.
Naturally, since the estate will soon be mine. And as for the Wilsons, we shall throw the rascals out, sir.
Yes. Yes, excellent idea. I think I feel the song coming on. We'll throw the rascals out, sir. We'll throw the rascals out, sir.
Oh, there's someone back before.
I anticipated your feelings in this matter, Mr. Edward, and passed word around the village that the Wilson cottage would soon be vacant.
Splendid. Excellent idea, Mr. Cripps.
So it is quite possible that our caller is some desirable applicant seeking to rent the cottage. Who is it, Stigler?
It's a woman, sir. Asking for Mr. Edward Middleton.
You see, sir, what did I tell you? Is it anyone you know?
I couldn't tell, sir. She's wearing a veil.
Some thrifty, hard-working widow woman, no doubt. Bring her in.
Sir, she refuses to enter the house.
Refuses?
Yes, she insists that Mr. Middleton come to the door.
Insists, does she? Mr. Middleton is at this moment a guest in my house. I will not permit that he answer the door like a lackey. Tell this woman that she must come in or else go away.
Very good, sir.
But, Cripps, if it's a lady, then perhaps I should.
A lady, Mr. Edward, would not come in the back door. It is a woman. These tenants must be brought to their place. Let them see from the beginning, from the very first interview, you are the master.
I am the master. I am the master.
Here is the woman, sir.
Mr. Cripps, we meet again. This, I presume, is Mr. Edward Middleton?
Cussed, what the devil is she doing here?
I inquired at your home, and the manservant informed me that you were with, Mr. Cripps.
Was your business so urgent that you had to intrude on a private conference?
I came, sir, to fling myself on your mercy. Sir, I pray you, accept this part of the rent.
My, this is the face of more than an ordinary beauty. I find myself strangely moved.
Keep your eye
I'm burdened with shame to think that this beautiful creature should see me drinking. I must steady myself.
'Tis but a portion of the debt, but be assured the remainder shall be paid as soon as busy, willing hands can earn it.
It's a trick, Mr. Edward. Be careful. Solvency before sentiment, sir.
Yes. I'm far from pleased with your tendency, Miss,
Mary, sir.
Mary. What a grand old name, Mary.
Cribs is saying to you now, solvency before sentiment. Remember that. Remember the gate.
Miss Mary, your arrears of rent are but one of my many grounds of complaints. You've neglected the property. For instance, one of the things I'm most displeased with is the fence. It's tottering.
But the fence, Mr. Middleton, was damaged by idle schoolboys. Although we do our best to keep guard, they shall use it as a vaulting horse.
Perhaps we are being a bit severe.
That's just a typical bilkers excuse. Remember the gate.
Now, Miss Mary, what about the gate that's standing there lying, useless, off its hinges?
Well, the gate was unhinged, sir, by straying cattle.
I guess that makes sense. Two women left to shift for themselves, all alone. One but a mere girl.
Yes, sir. While my poor father lived, there was not a neater, tinier property in the village.
Excuses, Mr. Edward, all excuses. Remember the birch tree.
He makes a good point. But Mary, you cannot possibly have me believe that it was wandering cattle that filled the tree for firewood, now can you?
No, sir. Those limbs were broken down by the silver thaw of last February 14th. We burned them only to try and clear away the wreckage.
How modestly, charmingly she responds to my every complaint. Mr. Cribbs, would you do me a favor by stepping into the next room? I wish to have a moment alone with this young lady.
Careful, sir. Beware the glib tongue of a bilker.
Have no fear for me, sir.
I will have none, sir, if you remember our watchword. Solvency before sentiment. Come, stickler.
Miss Mary, I beg you to rise.
I might have the courage to do, so I can hear one word of reassurance.
You shall hear it then. I shall rescind the order of eviction at once.
Oh, bless you, sir. And now you will accept the money.
I shall not. Would prefer that you keep it.
Oh, no, sir. Now you shall accept it with a double pleasure, since we recognize in our creditor a benefactor too.
Miss Mary, as you may have noticed, I sometimes speak rather plain.
I had noticed it, sir.
Edward.
Edward.
Curse it! What is she up to now?
Up to no good, I'll be bound.
Miss Mary.
Mary.
Mary. What a grand old name, Mary. I see in you an indescribable charm. A charm of mental excellence, noble sentiments, filial piety. These are the charms that render you conspicuous above all the maidens I've ever seen. These are the charms that bind captive the hearts of men.
Pray, let us speak no more of that for the moment. Will you take the money?
I will not. I would prefer that you keep this as a portion of your dowry.
Oh, no, sir. You shall accept it.
As I said, I shall not. Your dowry is important. I wish that you keep it.
Oh, so you know then. Oh, Mr. Cribbs has told you.
Cribbs? What has Cribbs to do with this? What I meant to say is, need I say at last whose hands I wish that dowry to fall at last?
I cannot pretend not to understand you, sir. That would be an idle return for kindness, such as yours. And yet,
I shall be walking in the vicinity of your cottage later this evening, and...
should I see you go by without stopping by then?
Then what, dear Mary?
Then I should suppose you'd forgotten where we lived.
Thanks. Little did I think that this old cottage should be regarded as a casket, invaluable, but for the jewel that it contained.
This upsets your plans, Mr. Cribbs.
Not altogether. We have hit squarely upon his weakness for liquor.
Yes, he does take to it like a fish to water. We'll have no trouble keeping him drinking. But we're not counting on his weakness for a pretty face.
Never fear, Stickler, all is not yet lost.
Ah, love is a strong emotion.
True, but if it comes to a contest, Stickler, you will find, without fail, that liquor licks love.
Liquor licks love?
Every time. Here he comes. For the moment, swim with the stream. Fine girl. Oh, Mr. Edward, a fine girl, sparkling eyes, dimples, roguish glances. Oh, come, sir, a toast to true love.
Don't do it.
To true love.
True love.
I must say, I should be plunged in gloom at my father's death, but I find myself incredibly cheerful.
Splendid. Your father would have wanted no excessive display of grief.
And also funny that, as of late, I've had little to no appetite, but all of a sudden I find myself ravenously hungry.
Splendid. Fasting never did a man any good. My humble meal should be ready about now. May I invite you to it?
I shall accept with pleasure, Mr. Cripps.
Very good.
I do say, I'm incredibly cheerful.
Allow me, sir. After you.
Something about Mary.
Liquor licks love. I believe he's right. There are no flies on Mr. Cribs. Hey, wait for me, I'm coming too.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small. Did you like my song? You want me to sing more?
Yeah.
Yes? You want me to sing more?
Yeah.
Yes? Well, I'm not. I'm so happy. Because the heavens have answered our prayers and has used my daughter's beauty to soften the hard heart of our landlord. It may be that we shall get to stay here in peace and tranquility. Yet, in my breast beats the heart of a mother, and that heart seems to whisper, beware! Beware! Can there be some danger here for my Mary? Oh, a visitor. I wonder who it could be.
I expect it is Edward.
Edward? Edward who?
Mr. Edward Middleton.
One moment, young lady. Tell me, why would Mr. Edward Middleton be calling here?
The young gentleman is calling to see us this evening.
That does not sound to me like the knock of a gentleman.
Please, Mama, may I open the door now?
Indeed, go ahead.
Mr. Cribs.
Good evening, Mr. Cruz. Just step inside.
I will. However, mine is not a happy meeting tonight.
Oh, no, not the rent. You promised us 24 hours grace.
Oh, that you're going to have. This does not concern the rent. This concerns your lovely daughter.
Well, Mr. Cribs.
Well, I promised you 24 hours grace with the rent, but now you were expecting a visit from Mr. Edward Middleton.
What if I was?
You probably did not realize when you last saw him that he was half out of grief with his father on his mind.
He seems normal enough.
Well, to you perhaps. Yet in fact, he scarcely knew what he was saying or doing. He has been like that for days.
You mean then?
I mean that you must not be deceived by any apparent promises or undertaking which he may have made in this abnormal condition.
I don't believe it. It's a lie.
Then where is Mr. Middleton now?
Yes, Mary, dear, where is his promised visit?
He will come. I know he will come.
He will not come. It pains me to say it, but he lies at my house prostrate with grief, hearing nothing, seeing nothing.
So then we can hope for nothing from him then.
Madame, your only hope, as I said this morning, is in me. I'm afraid not, ma'am. Why, Mr. Middleton stated his policy for the cottage. In these very words, we shall throw the rascals out, sir.
Quite right, sir. We'll throw the rascals out, sir. Oh, cameras. Throw the rascals out, sir. Get some more heads.
I like that.
Very nice. And throw the rascals out. What? We'll throw the rascals out, sir.
Sorry, he's drunk.
Rascals out, sir. Oh, hello, ladies. We'll get 10 and 10. Come on, Priscilla. And throw the rascals out.
It is Edward. I knew he would come.
Oh, Mary Curse.
Curse it, how did he manage to get here?
It's so good to see you, Mary. And Mr. Cripps, you're here too. This must be Mrs. Wilson, I presume. So fortuitous to have you all here together. Let us celebrate with a rousing chorus. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. We'll throw the rascals out, so we'll throw the rascals out, so get some on this 10 and 7. Like every year, she loves one of them. And throw the rascals out.
Stickler, what is the meaning of this?
I tried to restrain him, sir, but he would insist on coming. It's a case of force, Mr. Cribs. He's bigger than me.
Bah, you fool.
Edward, is it true then, as Mr. Cripps said, that you've hardened your heart again and we must leave the cottage after all?
Poor Cribs. He's a good man, honest as the day is long, but between you and I, he's a little stupid. It takes him a long time to get an idea through his head. I've told him twice, if I've told him once. We'll get some honest 10 and 7. That's you, Mary. And you, Mrs. Wilson. The other way around. But enough of that. Down to business. Mrs. Wilson, I have the honor, the pleasure of the very formal nature to give you this. What was I about to do?
You were about to make a grave indiscretion, Mr. Edward. Stickler, take him home.
Come on, sir. Come back to the house and lie down.
Oh, I can drive. I'm good. No, wait. Not until I get an answer. Mrs. Wilson, I wish to have your daughter's hand in marriage.
This is rather sudden, Mr. Middleton. Perhaps you would give me some time to, consider.
Absolutely. Take all the time that you need. How long? 5 minutes? Wait.
Take it easy. Take it. Come on. Come here. Easy does it now. Okay.
I may yet to see my ladies, I would give much to have spared you that disgusting sight.
I can well believe that, sir.
I feel not disgust, but pity at the sight of Edward's illness.
Illness? Can it be, Mary, that you still do not realize the truth? My previous statements about Mr. Middleton's condition were only a harmless prevarication to shield you from the sordid reality.
You must excuse
poor fellow is a slave to the demon rum.
You mean he's a,
A drunkard, ma'am. Yes, a drunkard. Will be if I have anything to say about it.
And this was the man who sought my daughter's hand in marriage?
Yes, ma'am. That sudden, slobbering caricature of a man did seek your daughter's hand, Mary dear. What would your life be like married to that wretched object?
He's talking about me. I heard them. I heard him talking about me. We'll let the honest landlord in, and well, let's. Coffee chair, missus.
Oh, sure.
Mary, you see what I'm talking about? You had best consider my last offer to you, Mary, and don't take too long. As I told you already, 24 hours. Come, Stickler, let's take it.
What's all this hobnobbing and whispering? What's the meaning of it?
Nothing, my dear sir, just comforting the young ladies.
Very well. As I was saying before, have you decided?
My answer, I don't know.
Did you about my proposal? Have you settled on a date for the wedding?
I don't quite.
Oh, stuck up and high and mighty she is. Look, I want an answer here and now, or it's out you go! Prince, I'm beginning to suspect that these are not the honest, hard-working tenants that we thought they were.
Dear, this is most embarrassing. I don't know what to think. Mary, dear, what do you say?
I'll tell you what she thinks. Let us not wait for that doddering old brain of old age to make up its mind. I'll say what we're doing. But first, Mary, a kiss. You're not married. No. Come here, dear.
Mrs. Wilson, like we started to before, we will remove this wretched young man. Mary, I am sure you will ponder this scene and not ponder too long.
Okay, take one step at a time.
Mary, dear.
One of those secrets? Yeah, you're gonna lie down and you feel better. Okay.
I repeat my question. What do you say?
What can I say? To save us both from destitution, I'm forced to marry. But which am I to marry? That old man whose very touch makes me shriek in horror, or merciful heavens, the drunkard!
Mary, my child. Mary, my child. My child. Okay, everybody, it's intermission.
Who do you think Mary is going to marry? She's supposed to
The cute one!
marry Cribs?
The cute one!
Or the drunkard?
The drunkard!
Which one would you folks marry?
The drunkard!
The drunkard!
The cute one!
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wild and wonderful, and I'll soon have it all. This is my share of the 50-50. Just what I needed. Just what 100, 100, 200. I don't, this is a 10, 210. Who's on the $10 bill? I have a little train and it says Monopoly. Let's see. 50. More. Getting close to another 100. There it is. 300. 400. 50 and $500. Oh. Stickler.
Yes, sir?
Stickler, I have good news. I have good news for you.
Yes, sir?
Yes, you will remember just 12 months ago I spoke of acquiring the Middleton estate.
Yes, sir. Well, all that time, he's become a most accomplished drunkard, but there's no sign of him dying yet a while.
He is stronger than I thought, curse him. But nevertheless, I have acquired the greater part of the estates.
Oh, indeed.
I had to keep my maneuvers secret, even from you, my dear Stickler. I bought the estates through a man of straw.
A man of straw?
A man of straw is a legal device which I shall fully explain to you someday. But now I can tell you that success is within my grasp. Then the practice will be yours.
Well, I don't get it. What did you gain by buying the estates?
I have gained by buying it for far less than the proper value.
Oh.
When the drunkard's thirst is on him, he will sell anything at any price to obtain his tipple.
So what is the good news now?
Now, Stickler, the trap is nearly closed. Today, Edward Middleton comes here, mad for money. We shall purchase in the name of our straw man the last piece of his property.
May I ask, sir, the name of this straw man?
Cribbler Estates. Do you not see the exquisite humor? A combination of Cribs and Stickler. Cribbler.
Oh, Cribbler Estates! Oh, Mr. Cribbs. You are a wizard. A legal and financial wizard.
That will be our drunkard. Let him in, then bring out the liquor.
Mr. Edward Middleton, sir.
Why, Mr. Middleton, Edward, you do not look well, my friend.
Friend, your lips are the only ones that have pronounced that word to me now. Who are the drunkard's friends? All gone, save for you. Oh, would that I were dead.
Would that he were indeed. Come, a young man like you could not think of dying. I'm old enough to be your grandfather, and I don't dream of such a thing.
Mr. Chris, you have no independence. You don't know what it's like to waste away what little patrimony you have, to feel that you're the cause of sufferings that you would die to alleviate.
Why suffer then? I have had today from my principals, Cribbler Estates, a handsome offer. $500 for your cottage.
No, not the cottage.
What else have you left to sell?
You see that smoke curling up just behind that man with the camera?
Rises from your own cottage.
And you know who lives there?
Yes, you do.
And no one else?
Your family, to be sure.
And yet you counsel me to sell it? To take what's left of hope and comfort from that little family and cast them out into the wide world. And for what? To put some cash into my indolent little hands to squander it for rum?
You don't understand me, Edward. I am your sincere friend.
Friend?
Frenemy.
$500?
Gladly would I double, no treble that offer, my dear, dear boy, but I am bound by the instructions instructions of my principals. Come, my boy, half a loaf is better than no bread.
And yet when that half loaf is gone, there'll be no more bread at all. And already my family starves. Starving, sir.
Have a little tot of rum there, Stickler.
Some rum, maybe that'll help you feel better.
Is this to be the issue of my life?
No.
Must I ever yield to the fell tempter and lower my manhood lower than the brutes?
When in doubt,
I shall not drink. Yet how can I appear thus? Shaking, weak, trembling. They all see it. Maybe just a little bit.
Take the pledge!
Find some way to clear my head and rebuild my fortunes.
12 steps.
Bring in the agreement for sale.
No, please. No, not yet. Please. Not yet. Give me some time. Give me a day. And for God's sake, give me a little bit of cash so that I can find some way to find some relief.
How gladly would I do this for you, Edward, were I not bound by the interests of my principals, Cribbler Estates. Plans of the estates.
Very well then. At least, let me that bottle of rum.
That I will gladly do, my dear boy. Take it.
I have it. Rum, glorious rum. Demon, I clasp thee to my breast. I am free, strong, and happy now again that I have rum. Thank you, gentlemen. I am off.
We have let our patient go without plucking him.
It was a sudden, happy inspiration on my part, Stickler. Do you not observe that the wretch said his family was starving?
No, sir, I did not observe that remark.
Stickler, how often must I tell you to watch for the trifles? The law is built on trifles. De minimis semper curat lex, as
in English.
Euripides said.
Yes, sir, I will remember that, sir.
And Stickler, you will also remember that the plan had two parts. The first was securing of the Middleton estates. Since young Middleton had produced a child, curse him, my hope of inheriting had to be turned into a scheme for purchase. Confound it. But my scheme had a second part. What was it, Stickler?
The securing of a certain female party.
Exactly. And by forcing young Middleton to wait a while before receiving any money, I hope to consummate. The choice of words. To consummate the parts of my plan together.
Oh, Stickler, you are a genius. A perfect genius at planning. As brilliant as you are kind-hearted.
Thank you. This compliment pleases me, coming from a man of your attainment. But now to business. I have an errand in the village. As for you, you can get back to the practice. Soon to be yours. There you go.
Change change? Anyone have any change? My baby is starving. Will you please hold my baby? I must find her some food. Gotta have some crumbs here somewhere. Oh, let me see. Oh, nothing. Oh, I'm sorry, baby Julia. Baby Julia? Where's my baby? Oh, thank heavens. Oh, what is your name, dear? What is your name? Thank you, kind stranger, for finding my baby. Rockabye. Oh, baby Julia. Oh, I know you're starving. But don't worry, don't cry. Grandma will soon be home, and she shall bring some food. Rockabye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Sing on. I was trying to soothe baby Julia, but she was been crying with hunger.
Your song must be her only comfort then.
Mama, why did you bring no food?
Rosa will give us no more credits.
No more credit.
No more credit.
Merciful heavens, this is too much. What do we do now?
Oh, ladies, you're here. Mary, I've had the most glorious day. Old Prince.
Yes, dearest.
Why should I be silent? I'm not a child.
No, but your child, Edward Middleton, has found in sleep a brief respite from the pangs of hunger. So I beg you not to wake her. Unless by chance you brought her some food.
I brought her something better than food. Something that has often brought me comfort in my time of need. What's good for the father is good for the daughter, yes?
Brute, beast, worse than a beast. The wild wolf of a plain would not menace its hungry offspring with poison.
My baby Julia, child, hungry? With my Julia, child, The pale specter of starvation haunts my house, and I go without the means to dispel it. You are better off without me. I'm gonna go. Leave.
No.
Leave forever.
No,
Goodbye.
Edward, do not leave me. I will work. I will slave. Anything. We can live.
Damn it. Work? My life? Work? Do you know what the people in the village will say about me? Especially the one with the pink hair? They'll say she's sick of a million.
I just say that, dear, but do not abandon your misery. Do not desert me, Edward. My love, my husband.
Sir, do not call me your husband. Curse me as your destroyer and let me go.
No, I will not let you go.
Loose me. Leave me. Why are you fastening me down? Madness is my strength. My brain, liquid fire. Oh, look, Julia. I go now. Goodbye, ladies. Goodbye. Forever.
Oh, Mama, what shall we do now? What shall we do?
I do not know. I could think more clearly if I had a cup of hot tea.
We have no tea left, Mama. Shall I make you a nice cup of hot water?
Please. I will hold baby Julia.
See if you can get her to sleep, Mama. She is so restless.
Yes, dear.
Oh, someone's at the door. I wonder who it can be.
Who indeed? It's been a long time since anybody's come to this house of grief and misery.
Hello, who's there? Mr. Cribs!
You want to get up the stairs today?
Mr. Cribs, this is indeed a surprise. I am afraid that you find us in a sad state.
You have my full sympathies, ma'am. But I came on a specific errand. A little errand of possibly mercy. This is the reason for my call. But I know you are beyond the emotions of curiosity and wonder.
I am, sir.
We now live to only adore and pray. I
That's what
understand.
we do,
Praiseworthy sentiments. Most praiseworthy. Ladies, as you may or may not know, Mr. Middleton is with me today, attempting to sell the cottage.
Sell the cottage? Well, that would be the last straw.
I agree. And I used every ounce of my influence to dissuade him. Yes, sir. Sell the manor house. It was all very well to sell the Oakwood Farm and Sugar Maple Plantation. It was all very well to sell the grazing rights to the water meadows. But it would be unwise, as I told him, to sell the roof from over his own family's head. I urged him instead to apply himself to honest toil and thus retrieve his shattered fortunes.
Mr. Cribbs, if only Edward would take you as an example.
You flatter me, ma'am, but I will be brief. I came, as I said, upon an errand of mercy. Yes, I did. That wretched, misguided lad happened to mention that your larder was not exactly overflowing. So I have brought you some provisions. Milk.
Milk food for the baby?
Yes.
Oh, for the baby.
Some bread.
Ooh, bread.
Some more bread. Isn't that wonderful? One hot dog. Of course, sugar.
Sugar.
You need sugar. What else do we have in here?
Cheese.
Oh, the baby. I have something for the baby, too.
Oh, Mr. Cribbs.
Oh, sweet pie. All right. And then we have here, I think it's a flat meatball. Look at this. We have mystery meat. Finally, this is very interesting because you can use it for many things, but there's nothing in it right now. And I want to show you this. 2 pieces, not one. 2 pieces of bacon. This will be a slight relief to your needs, perhaps.
Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you, Mr. Cribbs. I bless you with all my heart. And this innocent child. She will be taught to call down heaven's blessings on the name of Cribbs.
Oh, Mr. Cribbs, I confess that in the past I've harbored bitter thoughts against you. I now beg forgiveness. You are a gentleman, sir, and a Christian.
Spare my blushes, I beg you. Say no more of gratitude, but listen to me. There is one slight condition upon which this help is offered. Yes, Mary, if I would unconditionally hand over these supplies, it is not most likely that your tender heart would lead you to stint yourself and to give Edward the lion's share of the food.
I've gone hungry before, sir, that Edward might eat his fill. I dare say I might do so again.
As I thought, I cannot allow the wretch to continue his cruel exploitation of 2 helpless, defenseless women and the beautiful little child. The food then will only be at your disposal if, and only if you, Mary, and you, Mrs. Wilson, and your child, if you leave the drunkard and come to live under my roof. Then your poor mother will find warmth, rest, and comfort befitting her graying hair. fine cultured environment in which to spend her formative years, little darling.
And I? What shall I find?
That's a good question. There you will find peace and joy after your nightmare existence as the wife of a drunkard.
Oh, bless you, Mr. Chris. Again, I say bless you. Yours is a heart overflowing with true Christian charity.
Ah, please, Mrs. Wilson, praise is not due to me, but to the good book. The sources from which we miserable mortals catch some glimpse of the divine virtues. Now, ladies, collect your possessions, and we shall leave at once.
Stop, Mr. Cripps, mother. Wretched creature though Edward may be, yet he is my husband, and it is my duty to suffer, to starve, and if need be, to die under my husband's roof, rather than to dwell in luxurious ease in the house of another man.
But Mary, dear.
Mother, you are free to go if you choose. But baby Julie and I will stay.
Do not be hasty now, Mary. Think. Food.
Mr.
Does not the smell of it recall you to your senses?
No, sir. Far sweeter to me than the smell of all your bacon is the satisfaction of doing my duty.
Duty? This is a strange infatuation, young lady. How can you have a duty toward a man who is himself undutiful?
Undutiful? How?
He has others to console him, whose soft attentions he prefers to yours.
What others do you mean?
I mean that there are plenty of young women who are ready to receive presents from wild young men like him, and who are not very particular in the liberties that may be taken in exchange.
Now, sir, I know that you are lying. My Edward may be lazy, thoughtless, cruel, drunken, dissolute, dirty, degraded. But he would never, he'll never be guilty of excess.
These things I speak of have been and will be again, while there are wantons of one sex and drunkards of the other.
Sir, you slander my husband, but in spite of all you say, I love him still.
You are very proud considering your circumstances, but come, I forgive you. You are beautiful and young. Your husband is a vagabond, and I am rich, and I have a true affection for you. And with me.
Wretch! I tell you that my clothed in rags, covered with mire, and lying drunk at my feet, is a being whose shoes you are not worthy to unloose.
You're chasing me!
Oh my God, there's all these people here.
Edward, dear, what is the matter?
A terrible thing has happened. Mr. Cribs, you're scarcely going to believe this. Mrs. Wilson, prepared myself for a shock.
What is it, Edward? What is it?
I was on my way out of the village when I found my way barred by a multitude of serpents. They were everywhere in my path. Large snakes, small snakes, black snakes, green snakes, spotted, striped, writhing, twining, grasping. I turned back, but they pursued me. The entire village is swarming with reptiles now. But as I turned around, they pursued and they overtook me. They attached themselves to my limbs, my body, my throat. I fought them. I tore at them. I grasped at them. But I escaped. And here, in my happy little home, I am safe. They cannot, they will not get me here. Ah! They're coming in through the keyhole!
revive?
Undoubtedly he will revive. His sword does not die so easily. But ladies, it seems that my presence is no longer necessary since the spectacular return of the breadwinner. I bid you a good morning, and I trust that you will never regret turning down my offer. I leave you now, ladies.
Poor Mrs. Wilson.
It's too much in here. Goodness gracious.
Oh, Mama.
Don't fall down.
I sometimes think.
Hold on tight. Indian giver. You're a bad man. Bad man.
I sometimes think, oh, heaven forgive me for the thought. Perhaps it might have been better had I married the old man rather than the drunkard.
Miss Wilson. What happened? No! This here! This space everywhere! Haven't you cleaned this up yet?
No, Mary, no. You cannot help him now. Not while he's in the grip of the demon.
Demon that thou art, I'm sorely tempted to take thee to my heart. Were I to drink, my senses would be merciful, dulled to the horror of grief and shame which I now feel.
Do it.
No, I shall not drink. I shall not drink. Mom, what can we do now? What can we do?
Let us hope and pray, my child, that heaven will guide us out.
And soon, Mama. May that guidance come soon. Oh, could it be? The newspaper he left. Oh my goodness. It cannot be. This may be the answer to our prayers.
What? Tell me, Mary, dear.
No, Mama. If this is only another cruel snare of the evil one, you'd better not know of it. You will be spared the agony of nurturing false hopes. If it is indeed guidance from on high, you will soon see the blessed results.
But what can it be, Mary?
No questions, please. Now, Mama, I must have a little money.
Surely your head has been altered by all the suffering, my dear. You know we have no money.
Is there nothing that we can sell, Mama? A chair, a table?
No one would give 5 cents for these few miserable sticks.
Mama, take the baby. I shall go out and sell this.
No, not your wedding ring, my dear, no.
No, Mama, I need to. I must sell my wedding ring in order to save my marriage. I hope I can live and laugh again now that I hope. Mama, I shall soon be back.
Poor darling, your mother has gone out of her mind. You, rat! Eternal curse on you! Death in liquid form.
You get drinks.
Come, darling. Let us go visit your poor father.
Mid pleasures and palaces, wherever we roam, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home.
Mary, is that you?
Yes, Mama, I'm back.
I have succeeded in getting baby Julia to sleep, and I have made you a nice cup of hot water. Now sit down there. Yes, you must be tired.
No need to drink hot water ever again, Mama. See, I brought some tea and sugar and milk.
Heavens above! This is welcome indeed, Mary. Yet it can only be a momentary pleasure, and once it is gone, we shall be as badly off as ever. We should not have sold your wedding ring for tea. only an hour ago you were so secretive.
I have seen the error in that, Mama. I must confide in you so that your prayers may reinforce mine for the success of my plan.
What plan, dear? Pray do not keep me in suspense any longer.
Very well. You remember how that vile, despicable wretch Chris brought his bacon wrapped in this paper?
I do, and how delicious it smelled.
Mama, please. At my moment of deepest despair, my eyes chanced to fall upon this paper.
Yes?
And like a flash of lightning, like a bolt from the blue, there came into my view a commercial announcement.
I believe in the business world, an item such as that is called an advertisement.
Perhaps so, Mama. Anyway, the announcement came like a message from on high. Look!
Dear, you know I cannot see the fine print without my glasses. You are deliberately tantalizing me with these quibbles and delays.
Oh, very well. I will read it to you. Wrenchlaw's radical rum remedy and Tippler's panacea may be administered without the drunkard's knowledge. Tasteless indeed. 1 dose of Wrenchlaw's radical rum remedy completely transforms the drunkard. His craving for liquor is instantly replaced by a firm appreciation for the moral and material worth of honest toil. The drunkard's characteristic love of loafing is replaced. The drunkard's characteristic love of loafing is. God, sorry. Sorry.
Take your time.
Take your drink.
It's replaced. Sorry, I'm flushed. I got a little flushed, sorry.
It's got to be replaced by something.
Wrenchlaw's radical rum remedy will completely transform you drunkard from a prince to oh my God.
You gotta drink dark.
Will
I like it.
completely transform your husband from a pig into a prince and your home from a pigsty to a palace. Try Wrenchlaw's rum remedy today, obtainable in a large 1-dose vial, only $3, from all apothecaries and druggists.
Intense loathing of the rum bottle, habits of steadiness and sobriety, appreciation of honest toil. These claims are welcome indeed, Mary. If they are true.
They must be true, Mama, otherwise it would not be in print.
That seems to be a convincing argument. So you mean to administer the remedy to poor Edward?
Yes, Mama.
Then I will indeed blend my prayers with yours for a happy outcome.
Tricky, tricky,
Now,
tricky.
this we must be sure to remember as Edward's cup. Now, Mama, will you please arouse Edward?
Yes, dear. If I can, and no matter how inappropriate it may be, I will also bring in baby Julia. Although she is too young to understand such things, it's only fitting that her eyes behold the glorious reformation of her poor father.
Now, where could I hide this devil's brew? He will never think of looking under the table. Oh, no, I will not answer. At this sacred moment, I wish to have no outsider intruding on our little family circle. Well, perhaps if I stay quiet, they will go away.
Open up! Open up in the name of the law. We know you're in there.
In the name of the law, when duty and discretion alike oblige me to open the door.
Bad man. Despicable.
Is your good man available?
Edward is lying down now, but he'll be awake very shortly.
Ah, fine. We'll wait. Come, Stickler.
Mr. Cribs, you mentioned the law. I hope that Edward has not committed any offense.
I have reason to suspect that he has. Only 1 hour ago, you and your family were destitute and starving, were you not?
Yes, sir.
You have since been observed in the village, shopping.
Yes, sir.
So it is obvious you have obtained money. and it appears your husband may have violated his agreement with my principal's Cribbler Estates and sold the property to another party.
But I can explain everything.
I prefer to await an explanation from Mr. Middleton.
God. I'm dying. I'm dying. Grout. Parched. Mary, we still have some rum left, yes?
Have a nice cup of tea first, Edward.
I don't want tea. I want rum.
Drink the tea.
You shall have the rum, dear, after you drink your tea.
I said I do not want tea.
Ooh.
A cup of tea will do you no harm, Edward. Here, I'll set you an example.
No, that is Edward's cup.
My cup? What are you talking about? It's been over a year since I've had any of that muck.
I poured it especially weak for you, Edward. Allow me, Mr. Cribs.
Cribbs, what are you doing here?
I came to inquire about your premature sale of the cottage. You had promised it should go to Cribbler Estates.
Premature sale? What are you blathering about? There's been no sale.
Good. Splendid. Then let us consummate on the spot the deal. Stickler, have you the money?
Yes, sir, all $400.
Ah, yes.
400? But you told me 5.
Since then, I have had new instructions from my principals, Cribbler Estates. Very hard firm, Cribbler Estates.
Oh.
Fine. Just give me the money. I'll be able to get some rum.
Sir, you must sign.
this trap that I've been lured into.
You must sign the agreement first.
Agreement. Fine.
No, Edward, I beg you, do not sell the cottage.
Right on the dotted line.
Do not
Edward,
sell.
I implore you, please do not sell the cottage.
Don't do it.
I've thought this over, and I've decided. Money, freedom, escape. That's the route for me.
Mary poured a drink down his throat.
My hand shakes. Blast it. I'll sign later. Please, give me the money now.
No, sir, that won't do. You must have a drink and steady yourself at once.
Fine. Damn it, woman. Give me the rum.
You shall have the rum, dear, I promise, I swear. But only if you drink this cup of tea first. You are leaving me, Edward. I shall never see you again. Will you not do me this one trifling favor? We've had some happy moments, Edward, have we not?
Yes, we've had some happy moments. And between her arousing me and those happy moments, the proof is that sniveling brat.
Oh, heavens above, there's nothing sacred to him now.
Come, Edward, my boy. This seems to be a harmless woman's whim. Humor her, get the rum, then we can finish our business.
Yes. Do you promise me that if I drink that, you'll give me my rum?
I promise, dear. And after you empty this cup, you shall have all the rum you want.
Very well. It's poisoned. You're trying to poison me.
There is nothing in this cup, Edward, that I would not gladly put to my own lips.
All right. Now I have my rum.
Very well.
What's the matter, Edward?
Could you say that this is good rum?
The finest old Jamaica. Come now, drink it down, my boy.
I can't say why, but all of a sudden, the mere smell smell of the rum bottle. Gives me the most vile loathing. Oh. My hands, they're steady. My eye is clear.
Then sign. Sign the agreement at once.
Here, sir, here's the pen.
No.
Don't do it. I will not sign.
You're not drunk
You
anymore.
must sign, Edward. You must have money.
Yes, that's true. I do need money, but I shall find some better way of obtaining it than by selling my home.
Edward, what has come over you? Have you gone mad?
I've not gone mad yet, sir, but I soon shall if you and your vile accomplice stay any longer within my sight.
Man, Edward, my dear boy,
Trespassers of my house, out!
Help! 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 Oh, find my papers! Find my pen!
Now, sir, do you wish to go peacefully, or shall I administer some of the same medicine?
would take a better man than you, Edward Middleton, to administer that medicine to me.
Do not tempt me, sir.
Tempt you? I defy you, you whippersnapper, you sop, you human sponge. If there were 16 more like you, I would not yield one single inch.
Get out of my sight, you buzzard! Out, I say!
I'll have the law on you, Edward Middleton.
That's the law for you. Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Oh, Edward, you are indeed a changed man. You seem to have abandoned your dissolute, unmanly ways.
Mary. Finally, I see the material and moral value of honest toil. Today, at once, I shall go down to the new canal diggings and apply for a job in the pick and shovel gang.
Hard for you, Edward.
It shall, but for the sake of my little family, I shall endure it. Through habits of sobriety and steadiness, I shall transform this pigsty into a palace where my family can live in peace and happiness.
I'm sure it will indeed be so, Edward.
Oh, Mary, what could be the wondrous power that has caused this miraculous transformation?
Heaven forgive me, one small deception. Edward, dear, it was the wondrous power of love.
Love!